reason you feel so sad all the time is because you're not letting those feelings out. Like, you're just letting them accumulate constantly. But it's not your fault, because, like, you don't know how to let those feelings out because you haven't found that way to let them out yet. Like, you probably don't have people to talk to, and you probably don't know what you want to do as a hobby. My name is Acilicit Bones, and in this video, I'm gonna be kind of giving some tips and advice that helped me feel better about my life, especially at points in times where I felt really, really sad. So, to start this off, I just want to say that I'm not a professional or a therapist, so take whatever I say as a tip rather than a given fact. The tips in this video are to help those who feel a deep sense of inner sadness. Now, I can only speak from my experiences and how they helped my situation, but there's no guarantee that they'll work for someone who's diagnosed with depression. I know this because I was never diagnosed. I felt extremely sad inside at a point in my life, but I was eventually able to overcome it. But I can't promise you that you'll be able to do the same. All the tips I give in this video are things that help me get through my inner sadness and depression. Just because they work for me doesn't mean they'll 100% work for you. Although, I think you should at least try some of them though, because you never know. You might end up feeling a little bit happier eventually. Now, with that being said, first things first, if you truly feel sad most of the time or all the time, whether that be because you don't have people to talk to or the people you can talk to are judgmental or don't understand you, I think I might have a tip that might help you long term. Now, this might sound crazy, but the thing that helped me get through my sadness, well, before I get into detail, I'm just gonna, describe why it helped me. And that I think stems from the type of person that I am. Now, I don't know if you believe in zodiac signs or whatnot, but if you do, then this might make a lot of sense to you. The reason it worked so well for me is because my zodiac sign is Pisces, specifically March Pisces. So basically, the traits of my sign are like, I tend to struggle a lot with my feelings and emotions because I feel them so deeply, and because of that, I tend to get overwhelmed by them. And when I get overwhelmed by them, I tend to isolate myself from those around me, and I tend to spend a lot of time in my little dream world, you know? So I tend to escape reality a lot, literally pretty much every day. I'm zoned out in thought constantly. So naturally, when I'm alone, I like to spend my time processing my feelings by pursuing things that distract me from reality. So, anyway, one of the, I've tried several things to escape reality, but the main thing that worked for me was making music. I've always dreamed as a kid to learn how to make my own music and whatnot. And the older I got, the more that dream seemed possible to achieve. So I wrote my first song at 14, and at that point in my life, I didn't really feel super depressed yet, but I could definitely tell that something was wrong and that something was off. So, and at that point in time, I had already tried everything else to kind of feel better. People were telling me to try therapy and try all this other stuff. And I did end up trying that, but it didn't really make me feel better, you know? By the time I got home, I just felt sad again. And the thing about me is my feelings are always off and on. So one day I might feel really, really sad, and then one day I might feel like stupidly happy. Like my feelings are never consistent. So because of that, therapy never really worked that well because like the times that I needed it, I wasn't really able to get it fast enough, before my feelings kind of just wore off. So I kind of just thought to myself, well, I need another way of like letting my feelings out in the moment. So that's the reason that I ended up writing music for the first time because it was one of my childhood dreams for like most of my life, and I just really wanted to do it. And I thought, well, maybe this is the answer. Maybe this will help me feel better. So I started writing down my feelings on just random pieces of paper because I didn't have a phone at the time. So yeah, and I just kept writing down my feelings, and not just my feelings, but like my intrusive thoughts, like just anything that I wanted to write, chances are probably wrote it down, but I mainly wrote down my feelings. And then eventually, I started trying to make those words rhyme, and then I just started having like a ton of fun doing that. And the older I got, the better I got at writing, and the easier it got for me to write down my feelings, which eventually led to me finally feeling at peace, which is where I'm at now. And that's how I'm able to talk about this. But anyway, so that's kind of my story, but I know that that might not work for everybody, or like something similar might work, but not music making specifically. So let's forget the fact that um it was music making specifically. Let's just ignore that. Let's just think about like the main things here. So the thing that helped me wasn't music making specifically, although that was definitely one aspect, but I think the main aspect was the fact that I just would constantly zone out and escape reality. So that way I'd be able to process my feelings. And I did that by doing things that I liked doing. So in your case, uh, if you're a really creative person, like you've always loved music and you've always loved art and stuff like that, you know, um, and you've always wanted to you know, like start doing it yourself. Well, this probably could be a good motivator, you know? Like if you feel really really sad like a lot of the time, then maybe you should try pursuing some of those dreams, you know? Cuz nothing's impossible. That's definitely something I learned as I got older. But yeah, so like in your case, you might not want to make music, but you really like music. So, yeah. Um but like if you're super creative and you really like art and whatnot, then you could probably start like sketching, and then eventually you can turn those sketches into to drawings, and then once you get good at that, you could even start like making like little comics and stuff like that too. Now, I can't really speak on this in much detail because I've never really been good at drawing. Um, but yeah, but I mean, like the same kind of concept that helped me still kind of applies here. Like, it doesn't matter like what you put your time into. Like, I mean, if you're not as creative as me or other people, then like you could even do like cooking or like baking or even like riding a bike or going to the gym. Like you could literally do anything you want, but it'll only work if it feels fun. Now, how you can tell if it feels fun or not is like it'll is whether or not it feels like work. Now, like for me, I love making music. Like I love the whole process of making a song. Like I love the writing, I love the production, the mixing, and the mastering. So, because of that, every time I make a new song, the whole time I'm doing it, it's just so much fun. It's like I'm just like in like another world un- until the song's finished. and then reality kicks in again. But then, because I spent like so long making that one song, after it's done, I'm able to process how I feel about it and stuff, and that's fun in itself. But yeah, so like how you tell if it's something you want to do or not is whether or not it was one of your childhood dreams for one. But also like when you think about it, like if it puts a smile on your face just thinking about it, then that's probably a good sign because that means that that's definitely something that would help you feel better because it already puts a smile on your face just thinking about it. For me, what really helped me get out of that really deep sadness was just every day for as long as I could and as much as I could, just escaping reality for the time being. Because I noticed that, like, whenever I escaped reality, I didn't feel happier immediately. I had to spend like a while in like my little like dream realm, but I noticed that like while I was in that sort of like zoned out state, I was able to really think about how I felt and really like process like, well, what can I do about this? And that's what led to me writing. And that writing eventually turned into producing and recording and every other step that comes with making a song. So I feel like if you tried something similar, it could work for you too. So like if you've always like dreamed about like I don't know like uh writing your own books or something like that, you know? Then like you should try writing short stories from time to time whenever you get upset, you know? It'll definitely take years for you to get like super good at it, but like, you know, like everything has to start somewhere. So, but although this worked for me, there's no guarantee that it'll work for you. So, you should definitely 100% like talk to like a professional first before like you take my advice at face value, um, because they'll know a lot more about this kind of stuff than I will. But if you've already tried that, well then maybe some of the tips that I mentioned in this video might help you. But yeah, I'd recommend just like trying to find a hobby. And like me, it was pretty easy for me to like choose my hobby because I already kind of knew like what I wanted to do with my life because I've wanted it since I was a kid. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't know what they want to do with their lives. So, in that case, I'd recommend just like thinking about things that you like doing. Like, if you like watching TikToks constantly, then like, I don't know, like, maybe you could start making your own TikToks. Or like, if, you like working out occasionally, you know, or like staying fit, then like, you know, you could probably try working out, especially when you get mad, because like then you'll have like a lot of motivation to do it. The reason you feel so sad all the time is because you're not letting those feelings out. Like you're just letting them accumulate constantly. But it's not your fault because like you don't know how to let those feelings out because you haven't found that way to let them out yet. Like you probably don't have people to talk to and you probably don't know what you want to do as a hobby. Me personally, because therapy didn't really work and like talking about my feelings didn't really work all the time, uh, my hobbies like helped a lot. But that being said, I know that that won't work for everybody. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of that. I think I mentioned everything. Yep. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Um, no, it's kind of like all over the place, and I apologize for that. I have ADHD, so yeah, I'm kind of just like going on a bit of a whim here, but yeah, I mean, like I planned this video out a little bit, but yeah, not enough to like fully know how it was gonna look like when I went and hit record. But anyway, yeah, that's that. So yeah, the main things you should take from this video are to go to therapy first. Definitely try that. Like first thing, go talk to a professional. And if that doesn't make you feel better, um, then I think you should try finding a hobby. Like just try putting all your time into something that makes you happy, which obviously, if you find it fun, then naturally it's gonna make you happy. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go now. I'll see you later.